Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh my gosh, I have some really important news that is going to affect and impact each one of you that are watching this video. So you're going to have to wait for this big news until the end of this YouTube video. So be sure to watch to the end and let's get right into your reading. I thought I'd start off with how are you guys feeling during this time about your twin flame connection. Let's get some insight into, oh, that almost fell. I feel heartache and betrayal. Yes. So you're triggered. You're triggered over the past. You're triggered from feeling this heartache that came up in your twin flame connection. So whether your twin flame has an actual third-party partner, or if they're just you're separated from them and your heart feels betrayed because you feel like they left or they pushed you away. And this heartache has been lingering and like getting stronger and stronger with all the energies on the planet now, with the sun and the moon and Mercury in retrograde. It's like we're in this tight pressure, and with these emotions coming up, it almost feels like, you know, it can just explode. So for a lot of twin flames, it's like, I want off this crazy train. I want off of this emotional roller coaster. I'm going to try to find someone new. And I get this almost in every one of my readings, where almost it's like clients come to get a reading because they don't know if they should still continue on this twin flame journey. And it's very understandable. But what I want to bring up is this is actually stemming from the inner child. Why is this flash? Okay. There was a light flashing. I'm like, I've never seen that before, but never mind. So yeah, this is like flashing for the inner child, your inner child. Your inner child is feeling this heartache. Your inner child is feeling betrayed. Because as a child growing up, you experienced this. You experienced it from someone that was like your first love. And going further back, it happens with one of our parents or our caregivers or someone that we're very close to that we trust. One day, they do something or say something and it just makes us feel terrible as a child. And the trust somehow was betrayed because you, as a child, you automatically just trust these adults. And for whatever reason, something they said, something they did caused us to break that trust. So this is a pattern that is repeating in your connection. So, you know, triggering all the time, being triggered by our twin flame because it hasn't been healed yet. That pain, that trauma of having trust betrayed at a very young age has not been healed, hasn't been dealt with, hasn't been acknowledged. So that's why it's coming up in your twin flame connection, because in a twin flame connection is the only time we're going to pay attention. It's very sad to say we can get mad at, you know, siblings, we can get mad at our neighbors, we can get mad at our kids, we can get mad at soulmates, we can get mad at husbands and wives, but when it comes to our twin flame connection makes us pay attention to what is exactly going on, because we want to understand what's going on in this connection anyway. So it causes us to really find out what the hell's going on. So whatever pattern is happening and being triggered by your twin flame, it's because it hasn't been healed yet. So say, for example, a child finds out at a very young age that their parent has lied to them about something. Lied to them about Santa Claus. Even if something little like that you don't think that impacts you, it really does. Because remember, the first 7 years of childhood are like very impactful. So you find out that a certain lie was told. Your whole world like just crumbles. And because as children we don't really know how to deal with that, we bury it, we suppress it, and we go out and we play, or we go off and we just move on. But we haven't healed that pain that still sits there energetically, because it's an emotion. Emotions are energy. So this is really stemming from your inner child. And when it's a pattern, it continues on in our adult life. Because we have an inner child, it's almost like you have to keep clearing it. So healing it once is fine, and you're good to go for the next however long it takes until you get triggered again. But it's like going to the gym. We can't just go to the gym once and expect that, okay, I'm healthy, I'm fit, that's it. No. If we want to stay fit, it's an ongoing consistency thing, right? Just like healing the inner child, just like healing in general. Healing our bodies never happens overnight. So how do we expect that to heal ourselves emotionally and mentally and spiritually? Doesn't really happen overnight either. It's something that like keeps going. So triggers will always happen, but we know we're healing when we can recognize the trigger and we recognize, okay, where is this coming from? Is this my inner child? Or am I hungry? Am I hangry? Or you probably just haven't gotten enough sleep. So being triggered, we know we're healing when we can recover faster from the trigger. We recognize it. We're like, oh, okay, but I still feel this icky feeling. I still feel triggered. I still feel betrayed by my twin flame. Okay, but we know we're healing when we're able to get in the emotion, accept it for what it is, not run away from it, not hide from it, but feel it. And if we need help releasing it, then we get outside help. We can do affirmations, we can do tapping, we can ask for help through a healing facilitator, which is what I do. But yeah, sometimes we do need help. We don't know how to clear things, If you don't know how to work out properly or exercise, we go online and we look for help, right? So not to despair, because this is probably going to come up, for a while, until we build up that trust again, until our inner child feels that he, she, they can trust in the universe. Once we get there, then no matter what someone else does to us, no matter what our twin flame does to us, we're not going to get triggered that much, and it's not going to affect us. So that's how you guys are doing. And I'm not laughing, it's because I'm going through the same thing. I go through triggers on a daily, and it just takes a lot of awareness to pull ourselves out of that and really look at what's happening, and not just have a knee-jerk reaction to what's happening. Like, just step outside and really ask, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Is this a pattern? Is this like, does this remind me of something that happened when I was a kid? And sometimes you don't even remember, because as children we repress those memories, because as children we're not taught how to deal with them. How is your twin flame doing? How are they feeling? Let's get some insight. How is your twin flame feeling? Okay. I want justice. Okay. So your twin flame, okay, so wanting justice is like payback, like revenge. It's not a very positive vibration to be in. So your twin flame is feeling like they're still upset over something. And by not speaking to you, by not really communicating how they're feeling, is their justice. It's like their revenge, because they haven't processed how they feel about you or about the connection. And even when they still love you, they can still have resentment. It's like they can have resentment, but that resentment doesn't cut the tie between twin flames. So they may be withholding, they may not be communicating, they may be in another situation, because this is their justice. And as really, this is not sounding like a really good thing, it's almost like petty. This is a real thing that happens. This is why the world has gone through war, because people have this idea of, I want revenge. What you do to me, I'm going to do to you. And it's very sad, but we are conditioned to be this way. And only from the ascended masters do we really learn that it's not a way that we can live. The ascended masters really teach us that it's not an eye for an eye. It's unconditional love. And yeah, that's a tough one to swallow, because someone does something to you that's so painful. Are you just supposed to turn the other cheek? And yeah, ascended masters just say yes. You turn the other cheek, because whatever they do is on them. So we can stoop to that level and do the same thing, or we can practice unconditional love, which is what is the lesson for twin flames. The reason why we get triggered so much is because we co-created with our twin flame these scenarios to evolve and grow our soul. So we can rise above ego and learn what unconditional love is. Not just what it is, but how. And unconditional love is forgiveness. Forgiveness for no matter what they have done. So one day they will get here. Your twin flame will get to a place where their path will lead them to where they learn forgiveness, and they have to forgive. And it really starts with forgiving our parents. As much as sometimes we don't want to admit that, because as children we want to stay loyal, we want to stay loving to our parents. But it begins by forgiving them, because they only love us in the best way that they know how, in the best way that they were taught. And so for us as well to practice forgiveness for ourselves, to ourselves. And then it's possible to forgive our twin flame. So the twin flame journey just brings up all of this stuff because, again, it's the only time that we will pay attention. It's the only reason why you're watching this reading. It's the only reason why you're actually taking the time to watch this reading is because the twin flame connection brings us to awareness, brings us to clarity of who we are. Because it starts off as blaming them for what they're doing, what they're not doing, how they're making us feel. But what it is, it's coming down to, what am I allowing myself to feel? And where is it coming from? And how do I heal that? So, we're going deep today. Okay. So that's how we are doing, you and your twin flame. Let me just bring focus back. Okay. Okay, let's see what's blocking your twin flame connection. Yeah. What's blocking the twin flame connection? And I appreciate every single one of you for, you know, watching these videos, watching these readings. 10 of Wands. Okay. So I feel like what's blocking the connection is the seeds that we're planting. So you see, this person is like, it looks like they could be planting seeds or tending to a fire. You know, when you're building a fire, what else does this look like? Yeah, so what I got is that the seeds that we're planting are the seeds of what we don't want. So the reason why separation happens is because we're planting those seeds. And sometimes we do it subconsciously, unconsciously. We do it from a place of woundedness. We do it from a place of lack. So what I'm seeing is that, so this person is planting or tending to this based on what he's carrying. So you may be carrying feelings of guilt, feelings of resentment, feelings of being a victim. And when we are trying to build a foundation for our twin flame, when we're trying to, you know, magnetize them into our lives, we're attracting what we're carrying. So if it's guilt, resentment, being a victim, any one of those, that's what we are planting, and that's what's growing. So we want union. How do we get union? Okay, so let's plant from within, because whatever we are is our vibration, and that's what we attract. So union. We must come into union within. We must align with who we are. That even includes work, our job, our career, our finances. Who are we? We must align with our inner child playfulness. Is our work fun? Is our work enjoyable for our inner child? We must align everything that we are so that we can attract that of which we want to be in alignment with. So if we want alignment with our twin flame, we have to align within first. And that is what's blocking this connection, is because we are out of alignment with who we truly are. You know, so who are you really? What does it come down to? Are you just the flesh and blood and bone? You're a spiritual being as well. So It's being in true alignment with who we are. And it doesn't happen overnight, because sometimes we don't even know who we are. I had no idea until I was in my late 40s, early 50s. I had so many different careers, you would not even believe it. How many different jobs I've had, how many different businesses I've started and failed at. And I've come to realize that they all failed because it was out of alignment with who I truly was. And the reason why it was out of alignment is because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was on the inside, not based on what I looked like or what I thought I should be in the world, based maybe on my flesh, blood, and bones. You know? I had no idea. And it was years and years and years of discovering who I truly am. And every day it's about coming into alignment. So really ask yourself, where are you out of alignment? Are you truly treating yourself as the sovereign being that you are? And does your life, does your environment reflect the sovereign being that you are? Does your finances reflect the sovereign being that you are? And that's a big trigger. That was a huge trigger for me, and it still is. It's because we live in a world where money is so significant. And so we tend to, well, at least I know for me, my value of myself depended on how much money I had in the bank. When that's not a nice thing to do, because that has no relevance. It really doesn't. However, being in alignment means, I'm a sovereign being. I'm deserving. I'm deserving just because I was born. And I'm talking for all of us. We are sovereign beings just for being born, and we deserve the world. So our bank account should reflect that, our health should reflect that, our home, our career, our twin flame connection. So if any of those areas are out of alignment, if all of those areas are out of alignment, man, we got work to do. And that's why we're in separation. Because we can come in and out of union. And that's the whole reason why we come in and out of union, because we haven't come into true alignment and balance. It's a practice. It's not like it's that you just fix something and then it works. It's not like fixing your car, It kind of works differently. Like you're starting from scratch and you just got to build one thing at a time until we are alignment. So, yeah, this is a different type of reading today. But don't forget to stay to the end. I have some really cool news for you guys. Okay, so part of being in alignment is being on our life purpose. And many times, our life purpose lines up or complements our twin flames' life purpose. Now, if two twin flames are not 100% sure what their life purpose is, that's okay, because it's just like discovering who you are. It takes time. But this is what I will say. It's being of service to others, making others feel better, uplifting others, making a difference to others. And that can be in any traditional business or job, because when you're doing it out of service to help other people, to uplift them, you can do that no matter what kind of job you have or career. So it's being of service. That brings us into alignment with who we truly are as spiritual beings. So when two twin flames are on that level, it's very close to two twin flames being in long-lasting, harmonious union. Because if two twin flames aren't really sure what their purpose is or how they are to be of service, or if there's no awareness of being of service, the universe pulls them back into timeout so that they can both figure it out. So I'm pulling a card again from the Life Purpose deck. Like all of these, I can't read them all, universe. Let's just pick one. So let's get some insight. Oh, geez. It happens all the time. That was crazy. Study. Okay. Reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So, with regards to your life purpose, the universe is saying research. Read, educate, which will help you give clarity into your career as your life purpose. Because what better thing as having your life purpose as part of a career that you absolutely love, that does not feel like work, that you're so passionate about, that you could do all day, that you could do without even getting paid. That's what life purpose is. And somehow it lines up with your twin flame. So read, do research, whatever you're interested in, and whatever is fun, whatever you enjoy, whatever you would love to do with your twin flame, that's your life purpose. And even if it's having a family, that is beautiful. That is conscious parenting. That is conscious family life. Being an example of what unconditional love can look like in a family. That is a beautiful life purpose, and it can change and evolve as life goes on. So at the beginning, if it's like both you and your twin flame having traditional jobs, when it comes from your heart and you're being of service just by showing up every day and being your best self, that is alignment, that is your purpose. But if you want to get specific to, I want to see what else is out there, the universe is saying to read, do research, educate on topics that you're really passionate about that can tie in with uplifting the planet, then that is for you. And don't worry about your twin flame and what their life purpose is. We have to focus on ours first. And when we're thriving, they will catch up because you are both mirrors. Beautiful. How many? Okay, we're at 27 minutes. So I'm going to pick a card, pull a card for what's coming up for you in your twin flame, and then I'll pull another card for message from your twin flame. So this is for what's coming up for you in your twin flame, and then message from your twin flame I will channel with this card that just fell. Seven of Swords. What's happening? What is happening? Okay, we'll get to that one. Seven of Wands. So just based on the numbers themselves with the 7, it's a bit tricky. So let me just read into this card here. So what's coming up for you is you are going to be, I want to say, you are going to be questioned about your twin flame. And this is like part of the universe's way of helping you gain clarity. So when you're questioned by others on, so how is that going for you? How, like when other people ask, when you're friends or, and if it's not your friends and family, when people just ask about your love life and then your twin flame comes to mind, whatever it is, it's like you're being challenged. See, I'm getting this. You're being challenged and you're having to defend yourself. You're having to defend your connection. And then you're on the defense when it comes to your connection. So I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to handle this, but it will trigger. But the great thing is that when you see that this is happening and you don't allow it to sway you, because you can decide whatever you want to do when it comes to your twin flame, whether you stay on the path or whether you continue on with a soulmate or a karmic, it's completely up to you every day, always. But when we are challenged, when we are questioned, it's because we have to have clarity on, is this something I really want? Or how do I move on? Or do I want to move on? How do I let go? So those are all very good questions. So yeah, you're just going to be like tested. Hey, you're just going to get to a point, well, so-and-so made this comment about, my love life. So what do I really want? What's great about this card, it means you're going to have clarity. You're going to be challenged, you're going to be tested, you're going to be triggered, but it's a brilliant tool because we pay attention to that stuff and it gives us clarity. Because we're going to want to know. So that's coming up. And the thing about it is that it's coming up for both you and your twin flame. So they're going to be needing answers. They're going to need clarity on what they're going to choose. And in a lot of cases, twin flames will still unconsciously choose one another because you have an unbreakable bond. So not to be discouraged if you're not letting go. It's because twin flames, it takes so much work to let go and be with other people. It takes so much work, so much effort and attention. It really does. But again, the choice is perfect for you. Seven of Swords. So this is a message from your twin flame. So Seven of Swords is a card of deception. So I really feel this message is your twin flame can't hide out forever, and they know this. They're gonna hide and run till the very last moment when they can't anymore. And they're beginning to see that they can't hide their feelings. The person that they're with or the situation they're in, it's like it almost doesn't exist anymore, and all they feel and hear and dream about is you. And you're the same. Whatever situation is holding you back, almost like it's a faraway, it's not real. It doesn't feel real. It feels like a holographic illusion that you're just participating in as a game that you signed up for. So it's happening, but you're not really there. You're actually with your twin flame. So they're saying, I can't hide any longer either. So that is their message. They can't hide out for much longer. It's really painful for them doing that. Hiding from you, hiding their feelings. It's so exhausting is what I'm really getting from this card. Okay. So we're at 34 minutes and I really applaud you for staying this long, but I have amazing news for you. So I have a client that her and I began working together in September of 2019. We are now 2021. So she's been getting readings from me, throughout the years, a lot. And I'm not saying that you need that, but we did a lot of readings. She was in turmoil. She came to me crying, saying, her twin flame was totally out in left field, dating other people, not paying attention to her, ghosting her. And she was feeling all of this stuff from her inner child. We did the inner child work. She had several sessions done maybe 3 separate sessions. And, you know, we did some coaching when I was doing coaching back then. And then, you know, she was getting some traction. She was starting to feel better. She was still being triggered by, you know, family and loved ones, but she was getting improvements. And that is so exciting because that makes me so happy to know that, you know, this is why I signed up for this, is because this is what I want for Twin Flames to be together. So they bought a house a couple of months ago, and I'm like, oh, let me share this on my channel. And she's like, I just want to keep everything quiet first because I don't want to jinx anything. I'm like, okay. So I hadn't heard from her in a while. And then a follower messaged me saying, we want some success stories. And I'm like, oh. And then this client came to mind. Her name is Janine. And I asked her for permission if I could, you know, like post pictures of her. So check out my Instagram because I'll be posting pictures of her and her twin flame. So I thought of her. I'm like, oh, I wonder how Janine's doing. Let me check and see. The next day, the very next day, she messages me. She sends me a Zoom link. And it was a Zoom link, I kid you not, to their wedding. And I was just so overcome with joy because when she first came to me, she was just in tears. She was having a really difficult time even just communicating. They were totally different wavelengths. But the support, they got married yesterday. And so I was so excited to tell you since yesterday, but I'm like, okay, I'll mention it in my reading and I'll post about it. And I needed to get her permission first. But they're married and it was so beautiful. She sent me pictures and they did this twin flame candle lighting ritual where during the ceremony, both of them lit a twin flame candle that was customized for them. It had their names on it. So I couldn't be more happy and excited to share this news with you because Janine thought that there was no chance of her being with her twin flame. They were just on different pages. He wanted different things than what she wanted. She wanted to settle down and he wasn't interested in that. And yesterday they got married. So that's why this is such a celebration of love, not only for them, but for all of you twin flames out there, because it's a success story in knowing that it is possible to marry your twin flame, to be with your twin flame. And so I am just so honored that I got to be a part of Janine's journey. And even Justin purchased a reading from me, that doesn't usually happen. I think that only happened, from what I know, in their connection where both twin flames work with me. So in saying that, I am so excited for you on your journey. It took Janine a while for her and her twin flame, but whether you've just embarked on this journey or you've been on this journey for a long time, it is possible. So keep remembering that anything and everything is possible for you if you just stick to it. And if you just stay in the highest vibration and stay positive, that you too will come into union. And I hope that you'll give me permission as well to share your success story, because I do work with a lot of twin flames who have come into union, have met, and then they go into separation, which in my experience is needed, but temporary. And how long that takes depends on each twin flame, on their journey. So I just really was so excited to share that with you. I couldn't even I tuned in for a bit and she just looked like radiant and beautiful and happy, and he was in tears too, Justin. And so I really had to share with you a huge success and a huge win for the Twin Flame Collective. That's a win for us. And we get to every twin flame coming into long-term, long-lasting, harmonious union. We're going to change the planet. We're going to change the face of the earth. So it is my purpose, part of my life purpose, to assist you on your journey. So in saying that, readings are still available. Please purchase your Innerchild healings. I've designed these healings to assist you in energetically releasing the Innerchild blocks, because that is my journey still. And that's why I designed them, because they helped me, and I'm in much a better place today than I was back when I was just trying to figure things out. I'm still figuring things out. So it would be an honor to join you and work with you on your journey back to oneness, wholeness, and love. So again, thank you so very much. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing, for following me on Instagram and TikTok. Until next time, I'm sending you all so much love and peace.